We are now joined by Jiang Shixue. He's the Deputy Director of the Institute of European Studies at the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences. Thank you so much for joining us. You know, President Xi called for inclusion and cooperation in his Geneva speech, saying a circle of friends is needed to solve the world's problems. Just want to get your take on that.
Well, as you know, that some people suggest that the U.S. is the only superpower in the world today, and China is the second largest economy in the world. So China and the U.S. can become the so-called Chimerica or G2. So the G2 or Chimerica can do the global governance. They can deal with all kinds of global issues. No, that kind of argument is totally wrong. We are now faced with so many challenges, risks, so everybody must make their own efforts. Everybody must join hands in the age of globalization. The US and China cannot deal with all these kind of global challenges and risks. So I would say it is right for President Xi Jinping to say that everybody must make a certain kind of contributions. So everybody must be included in the way of dealing global issues.
President Xi's speech covered everything from nuclear security to climate change and humanitarian issues. Is China now taking the lead on the global stage? Talk about the timing of this, especially with Trump expected to take office in just a few days.
Well, as I said, that China is now the second biggest economy in the world, and China is a permanent member of the UN Security Council. China should play a more important role, and China has done already. China is one of the biggest contributions to the so-called peace processing, peacekeeping missions around the world, and China is going to make more contributions to world peace and development. China has offered a large amount of foreign aid to the poor countries in Africa and some other parts of the world. Now, within China, I would like to argue that we need to discuss further the issue of the policy, the so-called keeping a low profile and doing something. Because, you know, in China, some scholars say, well, China is still a poor country, we must keep a low profile. But some other people say, well, China is so powerful, we need to do something more. So the policymakers of China need to think about this trade-off or this difficult choice. On the one hand, we need to do more for the world. But on the other hand, as I said, we need to keep a low profile. So this is a difficult choice.
President Xi visited the UN offices there in Geneva, met with the new Secretary General, the IOC, the WHO. What is your take on this entire visit to Switzerland? What are the key takeaways, would you say?
Well, as I said, China is the so-called founding member of the UN. And China has been playing a very important role in the UN. China has made lots of progress in dealing with international affairs. That should be attributed to the success of a bilateral relationship between China and the UN. So now the UN has a new body, new boss. So China would like to tell the new boss that China is going to make more contributions. China is going to have more friends within the UN system. So this is a very good chance for President Xi Jinping to pay a visit to these headquarters in Geneva. So I'm quite sure that in the near future, China is going to have better relationship with the UN body.
All right, Professor Jiang Shixue, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.